Welcome back to CubeCon 2023. We are finally here. This is the last draft of the entire event. This has been 4 days of cubing. Justin Parnell, Jonathan Brostoff. He's a coiled spring as we know it, just taking stuff off, going crazy. We've had an amazing weekend. There's over 400 cubers here. We've seen 9 cubes on coverage, but we're still not quite done.
We're not even close to being done because we have the ultimate experience coming up, the top 8 with one of the most exciting, amazing vintage cubes ever built. I am Team J-Bro, Jonathan Brostoff. This is Justin Parnell. This is CubeCon, and we are so happy to be here and to have you here. This has been arguably the most amazing experience of many people's lives. See?
Yeah. Well, and you were on the mic earlier with people here today, and there was someone who wanted to come celebrate their birthday for CubeCon. That's a one-time-a-year thing, and they were like, you know what? 2 one-time-a-year things, perfect together. So I can't imagine a better way to spend a birthday.
Once a year with Speck root beer, you know what I'm saying? So we had I just have to take one moment to just thank the most incredible judge staff probably ever assembled.
Oh, I mean, it's absolutely, I don't think that's safe to say.
And just to give a little bit peek behind the scenes, CubeCon, this convention of cubing, where we're bringing people from all over the world, literally people from Bali, people from England, people from Canada, people from Texas, people from France, people from all over.
All the different countries, like Texas.
Like Texas, as I'll tell you, are coming to cube in this space. And in order to create a space like this, there are a lot of logistical nightmares to prevent and to overcome, and we're able to do so because we have such incredible judge staff who are so dedicated. So huge thank you to them, Rob, Stefan, everyone, and I also want to say that we've had people just give the most incredible anecdotes of their experiences and testimonials, such as, right as I was coming over here, someone who I just met here for the first time said, oh my God, Jonathan, J-Bro, I have to tell you something, I said, what's that? He said, I've never been to a competitive tournament in my life. This is my first tournament.
And a lot of people like that.
And we've had
a lot of people like that this weekend.
He said, I've never been to one. And I said, oh, well, thanks so much for coming. How was it? He said, this was amazing. I said, why? He said, I got to play Reed Duke on camera. And I beat him in one game, not the match, but he said I beat him in one game.
A lot of people can't even say that, though.
Yeah, and on camera, and he's just so blown away. He's like, "I'm coming next year. I'm bringing all my friends." It just warms my heart. Where can you experience something like that?
Incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome.
That's something that's a memory he's going to have for the rest of his life.
100%.
Incredible. And we've one of the things that we have been so proud to do, as you and I are both organizers of this event. We've obviously been in front of the camera. Because this is something we're very passionate about. We've had an incredible commentary team. It's not just us. It has been Andy Mangold. It's been Emma Partlow. It's been Jamie Topples. It's been David McDarby. And I want to shout out Becky Bell, who is not able to be here this week, but she helped us from this coverage standpoint, was initially going to be one of the commentators, wasn't able to make it, but she was also critical to this. I don't want to leave her out.
Yes, thank you, Becky. We hope to see you next year. We know you want to come back.
She'll be here next year.
Yeah, and thanks to Emma, thanks to Topple Popple, thanks to Andy and David. We have an amazing team, and thanks to you.
And thanks to you.
Thanks to me.
And you know what? Who else we need to really thank? We need to thank the NRG team.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the first time we've worked with them, and this is, I hope, is going to be a partnership we're going to be able to continue for years to come, because they've been absolutely incredible.
Through the roof.
And they are really the reason that you're able to see the coverage in this way that has been so fantastic, so diverse. And, this is just our second year for CubeCon, and we hope that everyone can come next year, but we know you're not always able to.
Yes.
And if you're not, hopefully you've been able to watch coverage all weekend, maybe check a VOD, maybe check something on YouTube afterwards. And they are as big of a part of this as we are. So thank you to NRG. And please, if you're watching right now, please be sure to follow them here on Twitch.
Yes.
As they're going to continue to bring you excellent Magic coverage and events over the course of the entire year. And if you've seen the job they've done this week at CubeCon, that's the kind of job they do all the time.
Amen. Give them a follow. Make sure it's not hollow. And we also want to let people know that even if you can come here, you want the amazing coverage that NRG Gaming is providing. Why? Because, like what this gentleman who just came up to me said, you're going to want to rewatch these matches online and ad nauseum. I was in the tournament you set up for cubing and SCG.
That's true.
I watch it every year for inspiration.
Yeah.
Every time I'm feeling down, pop it on. Oh,
Yeah.
who's going to win this time? Oh, me again.
That's
you know,
great.
I'm just saying, if you want that experience, Nerd Rage Games Fridays, come on down, make it a habit. And I also just want to say huge thank you to all of our amazing sponsors who made this happen. We'll get into it later, but it's just,
I mean, I think they deserve another shout out
yeah,
too.
and in particular, the Nectar of the Heavens, Sprecher Root Beer. I'm just so thrilled. So I'm gonna take a little sip on that.
And I'll say, while J-Bro's taking a sip, there's no way J-Bro would have gotten through the weekend without Spreckers.
Yes, it's true.
I think he's. I mean, it's not a blood alcohol level, but it's a blood Sprecher level, and I think you're probably in unsafe levels, but somehow still going.
I don't drink caffeine. I don't partake in a lot of stuff, but Sprecher gets me there, and it gives me energy, and so does cubing. And just seeing all these people from all over, from different skill sets, different locations, coming together for this experience is really a thing of beauty.
It's fantastic, and
Now,
our big primary sponsors. Magic Online, CubeHeads,
Daybreak Games, thank you.
Card Conduit,
CubeHeads.
being able to, incredible.
Yeah, we couldn't do this without them. Card Conduit, Card Castle, you guys believed in us from the jump, and we really appreciate you. We actually have the owner of CubeHeads here. He was getting a lot of great footage. If there's ever an amazing CubeCon documentary 10 years from now, you guys seen The Last Dance? What about The Last Cube? You know what I'm saying?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope the last cube never happens.
Yeah. Well, I'll think. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll think. We'll workshop that. We're workshopping it, but he's getting a lot of footage. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on. So just amazing sponsors. Thank you so much. And let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Who is the person that you are most happy that you haven't seen a long time, or maybe you haven't seen a whole year from last year, something like that, that you're most happiest to see here?
I gotta say,
that comes to mind. I'm sure there's a lot.
Well, no, I got one. My good friend Vince Chandler, Pleasant Kenobi.
Yes.
So
Pleasant Kenobi.
Yeah,
from across the pond.
Reached out, and Vince and I were able to work it out. Obviously, very excited to come. Lives in England,
yeah, he does.
Coming one of the most farthest away. But we had a chance. We got to hang out a ton this weekend. He's so passionate about Magic. He loves it.
Yes.
Loves Cube. And hopefully this is going to encourage him to continue to make more awesome Cube content.
Yes.
And, but, yeah, it's so many people. There's so many people here.
True. Vince is a good one. Although, I'll let you know, he was planning to come anyway because he was very interested in settling the score of the long-term rivalry between Wisconsin and England.
You're right. So, yeah, I knew this was coming. I actually, if I had a timer... Before you brought this up,
he was not successful, thanks to me.
Yeah, well, and as you noted, we have video coverage of that for eternity.
I've been watching all day. That's what I'm doing here. I'm right before us. I'm trying myself with it. But we're so happy with Vince, with Emma, with Dom Harvey, with the whole UK team. We got people from Scotland here. This gentleman was like, "Yeah, I love Cube. I don't, maybe necessarily have, the community do stuff like this over there and stuff like that. But came in, flew in just for this, flying right out. It's just so amazing." What an incredible experience.
I mean, it truly is.
Yeah, nothing like this.
And, we've been, part of our job, and I'm going to take off my commentary mask for a second. Part of our job, part of my job is to get everyone excited for this event.
Hell yeah.
But I can also,
not hard.
That's the thing. But I can also tell you that everyone is so excited to be here that it's absolutely, it's so incredible. But the people that are the most excited to be here, I believe, are probably our top 8 competitors.
Yes.
And
the top 8 is great.
We are going to be covering the top 8. Michael Kilberry is going to be drafting the paper version of the MTGO Vintage Cube, the current version, and we are starting off with a banger, J-Bro.
Wow, that is a banger. We have Time Walk and Orcish Bowmasters and Time Twister. Hachi Machi. Now,
Michael Kilberry looking around, making sure he didn't commit a crime opening that time walk. I can appreciate that.
That is not an unlimited Time Walk, by the way.
No, that's a beta Time Walk, my friend.
A beta Time Walk. So we're starting out pretty strong.
While we're waiting on this second pack to come around, I want to give a shout out to Brian Kowal, who actually supplied this paper cube because it's tough to get a paper version of the MTGO Vintage Cube, and BK he came through to make sure that we could see these awesome cards in real life to give the players an experience they'll never forget.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got the. Oh my! We might be going for unlimited time.
Yeah, what's
walks.
better than one time walk?
Wow. Okay.
Underworld Breach is
Can we pull
Michael
Underworld Breach up?
Kilberry's. Underworld Breach is Michael Kilberry's pick. Cool, playing it cool as a cucumber, but going time walk into Underworld Breach, I'm sure he'll find a way to get 3 other cards into his graveyard every turn, so he can just do that time walk over and over and over. And look at him, he's like. So what's happening right now is he knows everyone else is like taking time with their picks, and he had the 2 easiest picks maybe of his entire life.
Wow, this is insane. Okay, so I'm gonna let everyone on a little secret. I'm, as many people now know, I'm in a little draft league with LSV and some other notables, and the number 1 card outside of power you do not, absolutely never pass is Underworld Breach. And we're about to see a banger of a clang with this, I'm sure. It basically is one of the most powerful storm components. Oh, wow. Oh,
Now, we know if this was Caleb Durward, who's not in the top 8, he'd be making it.
wait. Was that, did we take?
Parallax Wave.
Okay.
Look,
Interesting.
for a man that's just drafted Time Walk and Underworld Breach, I'm not going to question Michael Kilberry on this pick of Parallax Wave.
So Parallax Wave, maybe we're going for a combo enabler. We could be going, if we get like
Maybe trying to get Eternal Witness.
Eternal Witness,
Yeah.
Flicker Wisp, we could do some stuff. Not necessarily the pick I would have assumed out of that pack, because there's also.
What would you have taken?
I think the Tutor is probably where you want to
Mystical
be.
Tutor.
Sorry, Mystical Tutor, because we're looking at, storm opportunities. We want to get Brain Freeze. We want to and okay, let me line up the reason why Underworld Breach is so powerful. With Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach, and Lion's Eye Diamond, you're basically able to win on the spot, as long as there's no Eldrazi or something like that in post. Wait.
It looks like we have now taken a Winds of Abandon, which is a removal spell. You know what this tells me? Michael wants to be in white and just happened to pick the 2 most powerful cards in the previous packs.
So, okay, I have laser focus on drafts I've been doing with this cube, so it's hard for me to see outside the box. What's happening here, I believe, is a value breach, not a combo breach.
Right.
So this is just
right now.
Right now, we could still pivot to combo, but this might just be a breach for value, for getting just a second time walk in your deck, which is also pretty darn good. But yeah, this is looking like pretty. He wants to be in white, pretty hardcore here.
Yeah, I mean, if we're picking white cards now, Parallax Wave and Winds of Abandon, solid white cards.
Oh, they're on the spot wins.
Right, no question about that.
Yeah.
They can, especially you're able to clear an entire board with just those 1 cards out of a single spell.
Yes.
But you are passing up some other things that might be more powerful with your first couple picks, but putting yourself in that lane if you know that this is your highest comfort level that you have the most success with.
Absolutely.
J-Bro, you pick a white card famously higher than most people, but probably everybody else in the entire world. So let's give Michael some credit.
That's true. And we have okay. So
yep. So here we
we're
go.
in the lane.
Right.
We're in the lane.
So
I like it.
Okay. So let's recontextualize this. Michael knew he was going to be in white,
Yes.
but smart enough to say, well, I'm not going to pass Time Walk.
Yes.
And this is Vintage Cube. I can splash easily.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
not a big deal.
There's Triomes, there's Dual Lands, there's Fetch Lands, absolutely.
Right.
And I also want to say huge shout out. We have a very special guest joining us. We have Michael's partner in chat,
Awesome.
watching live.
Well, hopefully they enjoyed that Usher of the Fallen pick from Michael in the last pack. And, okay. So now we have a Talisman of Progress.
Some fixing.
Talisman of Progress.
Ramp.
Which is, it's going with, you gotta make white mana and blue mana for your picks so far.
Absolutely. And
we passed up an upheaval to do it, which kind of goes to Talisman of Progress. I don't know if that's what Michael's plan is with that Usher of the Fallen pick.
Yep.
Quite an aggressive white 1-drop.
Yep. Fantastic. We have some fans of yours on chat as well. I'm looking on my phone because we don't have it on the coverage, so I'm going to be following chat. But big fans, happy to see you back in the booth.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that they're happy that I'm here.
Yes.
I would imagine we're going to see a Sparse headquarters. What do you think?
Well, I think we might be looking at. I mean, the headquarters makes a lot of sense. I think we might be looking at the Planeswalker here, or another dual, an untapped dual. Okay, going for the headquarters.
So the Planeswalker being Karn, Scion of Urza.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're going to go with the Sparse headquarters.
Makes sense.
That fixing for white and blue, we know he's got that, and maybe we are looking at trying to get an Eternal Witness or something like that to get it back out of the graveyard.
Not mad at that at all. So while we have, okay, so Jenny is the wife of Michael, who's in chat with us. Jenny, let me ask you this. Is Michael usually an aggressive white weenie player? Is that the comfort zone? That looks like what we see. Okay, and we have some great opportunities here.
He really likes that Elite Spellbinder.
Oh, Elite Spellbinder is fantastic.
Yeah.
And especially, White Weenie is significantly advantaged with the Time Walk because even getting, a 1/1 on the table and getting that couple extra damage in, or being able to get a board state where you ramp to your 6 so you can Windsor abandon their whole table, it's good in every single deck, I suppose. But the Tempo White deck really can apply the pressure and push hard.
Right.
All right, what do we like in here?
Well, we have an Armageddon, and if he's wanting to be this Tempo White deck, that's got to be a card he's looking at, but I don't see it getting pulled to the front of the pack. Maybe an Unexpectedly Absent.
Unexpected Absent is great in White Weenie.
Yeah.
It does so much, especially against greens. Being able to put an elf back on top, especially if you're on the play.
Right.
Oof. Hachi machi.
All right, we have pulled the Armageddon slightly to the front, but Michael he took that Winds of Bandit high, so maybe Unexpectedly Absent is coming soon.
I think we want the absence here. This is fantastic. It's versatile. It's worth your while, and especially if we are looking for some sort of Parallax Wave, Blink, E-Witness, something. It's good for that. And also there's a 3-mana blue creature. It's a 1/1, and it gets instance of 2 casting cost. Spellseeker. So Unexpectedly Absent, good with that as well. The X counts for 0.
All right, now
okay.
All right, we have a Soul Herder. Now I would imagine this is kind of the thing Michael's slightly been setting himself up to. He picked that early Parallax Wave, and he goes with the Soul Herder.
There
All right,
we go.
plan's starting to come together
It's
now.
coming
Starting to come together.
Michael's is galaxy braiding us. That maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was a hate pick. Underworld Breach. Maybe just knows the power.
Nah, I think life's going to find a way, and Michael might have a chance to get it. Now, here's the cards Michael passed on. We see a Time Warp if he wants to take extra turns. A Counterspell to maybe be a little bit defensive. What do you want?
I'm Windmill Slamming the Time Warp here. Also, having multiple Time Walks allows you to cast the first one earlier and more aggressively, which is great. But I'm Windmill Slamming Time Warp here. He's also looking at Counterspell, a classic. Okay, Counterspell wants some disruption. If your opponent's comboing off and you don't got no way to deal with it, it doesn't matter how many white creatures you got on the board. So not mad at the Counterspell. It's a preference thing. I think they're of about equal power. Counterspell's probably a little bit better, but preferentially I prefer the other. Okay, so nothing.
So we got a couple of. This is a very Jundy pack. We have Liliana of the Veil. We have Garruk Wildspeaker.
The red spell does provide us with one more Time Walk.
That's true. Mizzix's Mastery can flashback Time Walk. Could have flashback that Time Warp at the same time if you can get to that. Gonna go with the Garruk Wildspeaker. Maybe not necessarily the plan, but the draft could go in a different position, and Garruk is a certainly powerful enough card to main deck in most situations that you have access to green.
Wow! Oh my, that is bonkers.
This is a very late Jace Vryn's Prodigies, and that's such an excellent card to flash back that Time Walk that Michael picked up, following it up with a Sower of Temptation, firming him back into blue.
Oh my.
Can you imagine getting a 13th and then 14th pick Sower of Temptation, followed by a Karn Scion of Urza? Those are some pretty solid wheels that I think Michael might really be considering. Well, okay, maybe I need to adjust back into blue. Blue and white is my primary 2 colors here.
Fantastic. And we did get the Karn. Wonderful. This is looking great. Wow. Okay, so we have the makings of a blue-white tempo deck that has a lot of interaction with Counterspell, Soar Temptation, but that Soul Herder is the most impressive part because...
And Elite Spellbinder. That's a lot of good interaction.
Yeah, and we still might be getting a Thraben Inspector. Let's go with Soul Herder.
So that's the main thing that you're really looking at.
Yes.
Now, I know you're going to pick Thraben Inspector over just about everything.
Yes.
It's like Black Lotus, Thraben Inspector, and then like all the other magic
Thraben Inspector is hard to pass. You know what else we'd like to see in a deck like this? Would be 4th Urlings.
4th Erlingus.
Yeah, Erlingus. I'm terrible with names and pronunciation. I know what all the cards do, though.
4th Erlingus also pretty nice with Underworld Breach.
Yes, exactly.
Let me just take that Monarch back.
Yep. And on top of that, we're kind of getting. We have a little bit of ramp. We're kind of like we're not the hyper aggressive mono white version of this.
No.
We're in a more mid-rangey build up version, and this is there we go. We got some more Spark enthusiasts. Let's go. This is really really exciting. Okay, going into pack 2, outside of power like Ancestral Recall or White Ancestral Recall.
Right.
What would we like to see here?
That's a White Ancestral Recall.
Or
I
Craven
mean,
Inspector. Sorry.
I mean, realistically,
I would like to see an Urza.
Urza would be good.
Oh,
Ooh, what about the One
wow.
Ring though?
One to rule them all.
And
one
that-
ring not to stall.
And the One Ring, we have a Sensei's Divining. Oh, the Divining Top. All right, that one caught me out of left field. That one caught me out of left field.
There's a blue creature for 3 that's a 2/2 that can summon it, I suppose. Sometimes top is better when you have like the 2/4. You can look at top of your library and play lands or stuff like that.
Well, we also want to now.
Tinker.
It doesn't really change the dynamic of wanting to draft fetch lands. You always want to draft those. Those are
Yeah,
generally pretty good.
it
Maybe a
makes
little bit
fetch lands
better with top. But yeah, that was a unexpected pick for me.
I'm surprised, but Michael, he's been right so far. We got Time Walk, we got Soul Herder. He knows what he's doing. He's in the driver's seat.
Right.
But yeah, this is so fun. Oh man, and One Ring is just awesome. At
It
the end.
is, yeah.
So can we pull that up actually?
The
Let's-
One Ring, the famous, the
famous.
only, the One Ring. Now, what are we gasping at? We saw an Elspeth Knight Errant that's
I'm
in
windmill
white.
slamming. We have a land that taps for. There's an Elspeth, I suppose.
Elspeth Knight Errant. Now, I think we might be looking at the Mishra's Workshop. Had we drafted the One Ring,
Oh wait,
we drafted Sensei's Divining Top.
wait, that wasn't 2 different packs.
It was the
Oh my god!
just picked it.
My brain just stopped my mind from understanding what happened. Was that we passed One Ring for top?
Well,
was it two
Michael
different-
did. I'm not going to co-sign on it.
Okay, I'm told I that might have been a traumatic experience that just blocked it out of my mind.
Michael committing to the white-blue mid-range
mean-
deck that he's been drafting with this Elspeth Knight Errant pickup.
Well, statistically speaking, if you pass the One Ring, it is more likely to come back. So maybe
Well,
that's the plan.
If it comes back to Michael and he takes it on the wheel, I think we don't need to do coverage for the rest of the time because Michael clearly is seeing 12 steps ahead of what
It's
we're
that
doing.
galaxy brain. I mean, the ring knows its true master. The ring knows where
Right.
to go. It finds its master. Wow, incredible! What a sequence! I did not even understand.
Well, I love a strip mine. I pretty much love a strip mine all the time.
Strip Mine's pretty great. There is also Flash here, one of the most powerful cards in the cube right now. It can make 15 power turn 2 happen.
Well, you know what a great card with Flash is too, is if you already have a Parallax Wave, so flash
Yep,
something in.
yep.
Oh, it's going to be gone. Actually, it's not. Let me Parallax
Absolutely.
Wave this out.
Fantastic.
Looks like he's going to take a Shark Typhoon. That's a solid mid-range card. He's really been wanting to focus on this group in the middle of
Yes.
making sure that he can control the game, provide some large threats, a little bit of card advantage.
We're going for consistency. I also think Strip Mine is a very powerful pick here for the type of deck we're talking about, and any deck in general. Because
Yeah.
the thing about this cube is, its 3-color mid-rangey decks are really strong,
Right.
because the mana fixing's so good.
Exactly.
But disrupting a Triome, taking out a man land, does so much damage as well, conversely.
Yeah.
So,
White aggressive decks also have one of the best ways to utilize Strip Mine.
right. By putting lots of creatures in attack with it.
Yeah, but it's the best color to do it in this cube, and
Yep.
Michael definitely has some leanings on that, but he's really focusing on the mid-range stuff. Now, we see a Displacer Kitten.
Ooh.
Maybe you want to go with the more blink. That seems like a reasonable pick for Michael. Also looking at a Rafine's Tower to continue his fixing.
If this is me, I'm win. Okay, meow meow.
Get the Displacer Kitten.
Yeah, taking it right meow. If it's me, I'm windmill slamming the Mox. I love Chrome Mox.
Chrome Mox, yeah.
I am just thrilled to get that here because one of the things in white and blue is you do have card advantage. You do have tempo,
Right.
but it takes a while to get there. And we're rocking against elves when you got Dark Ritual in the format, Moxes, or other types of Moxes rather. It definitely helps to be able to give up a little bit of card advantage. Okay.
I see two really good cards here that I like. Adeline and Jace the Mind Sculptor.
We've
Adeline,
also got-
Resplendent Cathar.
And we've also got Days, and we've got White Reclamation Sage.
We do take the Adeline Resplendent Cathar.
Very good. Not mad at that. It's no Burmaz, but it's pretty good.
Oh.
It's probably a little bit better than Burn
I'd
Moss.
say it's a step or two above the cat. But you
Yeah.
know what?
We already have one cat for the deck. We don't need to. They'd
right.
just be fighting each other the whole time.
Exactly. So with Adeline, J-Bro, what are you looking for now? Because that is a powerful card. One of the most powerful aggressive 3-drops in the cube.
Yes.
So what are you looking at after you draft?
Well,
that?
you want Lightning Greaves. That's the #1 equipment to pair with
Excellent
it. But
call.
also, just a lot of little creatures. And by the way, Jace, little known fact, 0/2 creature can attack. So
can.
there might be situations where you want to make a little 0/1 with that. What
Well,
do we? I'm sorry.
We got a Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, very quick pick.
Not mad at that.
So really, Michael, really loving these 3, 4, and 5 drops. We've seen a lot of those. Now, that actually goes back to your point of really wanting that Chrome Mox and things like that because, those decks can be successful, but the speed needs to go up. Now, J-Bro, you called that Lightning Greaves.
Oh,
okay,
never mind.
But we're going to take a Teferi Time Raveler,
Yes.
which I think we can both agree a little bit better than Lightning Greaves.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it better than Lightning Greaves, but for this deck, I would
Contextually.
I would much rather have Teferi.
Right.
It is does so much and asks so little, especially in a deck with a lot of creatures, where you can, and we might even see, we haven't seen Wall of Omens, but it's good with Soul Herder. We might need some other protections with it. Does a lot of work. Okay.
We have a Baral. We have a Venser, Shaper Savant. That would be my easy pick is
Windmill
Venser here.
Salmon Venser.
You've set yourself up for Venser.
Yeah.
So I've been,
Is Venser good with Soul Herder?
I think a little bit is.
Why?
Because it makes you blink everything.
That's right.
It blinks itself. It blinks everything. Oh, you played a spell? No, that's going to get bounced back to your hand. You played a creature? Bounce back to your hand.
Yep.
You tried to remove me? Move one of my creatures? Bounce back to my hand. And do it all over again with both Soul Herder and Parallax Wave.
Every single turn. And it's getting bigger each time. Oh, wow. There's White Remand.
All right.
Ooh, that is a
Remand
gift.
is great. Well, here's the thing. There's a Volcanic Island in this pack, and I actually think you might not think you're going to play the Underworld Breach, but not taking a 10th or 11th pick Volcanic Island is basically saying you're absolutely not, and there's still a lot of draft left to go. So, Reprieve, an excellent card, and that was Michael's pick here. I would have really wanted to draft that Volcanic Island because you want to open yourself up to have the most powerful possible deck, and that's going to be critical with mana fixing.
Well, not only that, there's still 4th Eorlings in the format. There's the 5-mana 3/3 flyer with haste that makes 2/2 rebels.
Or Othari.
Oh, sorry. There's there's still Dark Fade in. There's still a lot of play you can have in a white.
In a Jeskai style deck.
And we see Brian Cowell, the hero of the season, coming in with the pizzas for all of us. Yay!
Michael's not going to get to have any pizza because he's got to draft and he's got to really sew this up together. Flash is back, but he's going to take Seal of Removal, and J-Bro's just beside himself in the booth.
Well, Seal Removal is great with Loris. It's also great with a 3/4 Angel that can get stuff with 3 or less CMC back from your graveyard. So there is, okay, and we get the
Rafine's Tower.
His Rafine's Tower, not mad at that.
Reasonable, yeah.
Seal of Removal can do some work.
Now, here's the thing. Did you see the card he passed? He passed an Ephemera.
Flat. Oh, really?
He did, very quickly.
Well, that's also quick.
And see, okay, another good point. Had we had that Volcanic Island, this would be a very easy Expressive Iteration pick, which, if you're drafting a mid-range deck, there's not many 2-cost cards that provide card advantage better than Expressive Iteration, but we're going to go with the Vraska, not going to make our deck.
And I have to...
Vraska Golgari.
I have to take 1 minute in the booth here. I'm sorry, stream. We got to take a minute to thank our wonderful other special guest. We have Riley in the house, Michael's daughter, wishing her father good luck. Go ahead, Riley. Your dad is doing great. Top 8 in CubeCon. How many people can say that? What, 50, 60? I don't know. How many people in the top 8?
8.
8 people. Out of 8 people, your dad making it happen. Mazel tov.
Picks up the Elish Norn Grand Cenobite with his last pick.
Okay, Elish Norn.
Not a bad 15th.
Not a bad 15th.
With where Michael's at.
And could be a good sideboard option. Yeah, there's work to be done there. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got a lot of mid-rangey, control-y stuff going on. This deck has got both Teferi's Time Walk. This deck is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think so for Michael to turn this deck into a high impact deck that can sustain a lot of the other quite powerful things that his opponents are likely to be doing, both from like a Tinker perspective, reanimating, playing stuff early with Channel. He really needs more interaction. I think Michael is kind of lacking on the interaction. He has a couple of removal spells. He's got like one counter spell, but he really needs to be able to stop people from doing the broken things so he can do the fair things very consistently. And we do see a Mox Ruby not being opened by Michael, but the person to his right looks like that was their pack one, pick one, as well as finding a Strip Mine. Ooh, a Strip Mine and a Wasteland. I want to see that deck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michael Giehold is the dad. Well, Mazel Tov. Michael
There's
Giehold's
we have
doing
two Michaels in
we
the
have two
draft.
Michaels.
We have Michael Gilhood
Or Gilhood, excuse
and
me.
Michael Kilberry. Two Michaels, two great flavors that taste great together.
Fantastic. Well, that is pretty cool.
I like this deck
that-
to the right. That was a Omnath, Expressive Iteration, Strip Mine, Wasteland, Mox Ruby.
Wow.
That's my kind of magic over there.
Love to see it. Love to see it. And it was
And
there Mox in there?
That was Mox Ruby. That's Andrew Jabs.
The Jabber Dabber.
Yeah.
Incredible record.
He did. Best record of anyone in the top 8 this weekend.
Absolutely. And his wife joined us for the Capitol Tour. We took some time to get a little civic engagement on and go meet with some of our wonderful progressive legislators here in Wisconsin.
All right, let's see what Michael opens on. We have a Mana Crypt.
Wow.
Okay. This is the thing. You need speed. Michael, take this Mana Crypt.
Mana Crypt.
I'm going to channel it into your brain.
You know what? In this format, I take Mana Crypt over Soul Ring, and I have.
And he really needs to take it over this. Look, I love a Phyrexian Metamorph.
And especially if you pass it to the aggressive red deck next to it.
Yeah. Mana Crypt has to be the pick. But we're going with Phyrexian Metamorph over Mana Crypt. If it were me, I would want to be playing my powerful 4 and 5 drops as early as possible, and that might have been the best shot in the entire cube to do it. And Michael says he wants to go.
Never mind.
All right,
I'm just going to
Michael.
get past an on-color
Michael, don't make me kick myself out of the booth. All right. So we're going to take a Mox Pearl. Thank the Lord.
What is going on?
I don't know whatever the Theros gods you pray to, Michael. What's the white? Afara? The white and blue god?
Coming through.
Afara's coming through for Michael right now.
Wow, that is incredible. Michael with the genius brain. And also, I mean, the argument against taking... That's right.
Thank you. Thanks, Afara.
Yeah, thanks, Afara. Bless up, homie.
Our last sponsor of CubeCon, apparently.
That's the other reason, because this deck is not going to, as aggressive as some of the creatures are, like New Burmaz, it's not going to kill people quickly. And we did see the Lion's Eye Diamond, right?
We did. He just
Earlier.
passed it. We have
And we saw
Lorraine Revealed, which is one of these new cards. Land Cyclers, very, very powerful. He's got some Triomes that can help fix his mana.
And we also see, Brain Freeze. Okay.
Brain
so
Freeze.
so we could have seen the deck come together.
Yeah,
theoretically.
the tools were there.
The tools are there.
But Michael wanted to go in a different direction, wanted to be a little bit more consistent.
He's going to a whole nother tool shed.
And we're gonna pick a Brainstorm.
Not mad at that.
Now Michael has no ways to shuffle his library.
True. Pass it. I probably would have liked the land cycle there. In fact, I often played above a land or, instead of a land. But I would also say that we are not on the same wavelength. Michael and I are completely different wavelengths here.
What do you think about this Tundra?
I am not mad at that.
Yeah, we need that Tundra pick.
We need the Tundra. Had both.
Not really passing up anything in that pack either, so that's a great Tundra.
No, and we're close to the amount of playables we need. We're gonna get the we're gonna get the playables we need in this next couple packs.
Right.
So not taking the Mana Crypt might be justifiable in that the deck is not super aggressive. It has some aggressive creatures, but it's not killing very quickly, and it is certainly possible that Mana Vault can kill you. Like, you get a good aggressive, you get a lot of cool stuff going on. You're gaining life, you're bouncing this, bouncing out, whatever. But
it
eventually,
can and will. We've all seen it a lot of times.
It can definitely happen. Now, Michael does have 3 things to take care of it already. Venser, both to fairies.
Right.
So there are opportunities if it were to come down to it. But overall, maybe that's the mindset. Oh, wow. We have,
Weathered Wayfarer, we see a miscalculation.
Always
we see a
do your math.
Savine's Reclamation. What do you like here?
I think we take Savine's, but Miscalc's also quite good. Is there a fetch? Was there a Windswept Heath earlier? I couldn't see.
I don't think that was a Windswept Heath. I think that was a different land. But
Gotcha. If there's a Windswept
don't
Heath,
quote me on that, chat.
okay. If there's a Windswept Heath, I'm windmill slamming that.
Yeah.
But I think we take Miscalc here. I want some more early interaction.
And that's where I am. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And I also okay, so we didn't see the windswept heath. That was my bad. Okay, so we got. Oh, we're going back
Back
and
to
forth.
Savine's. Yeah, so if I'm Michael with this
Can we pull
blue-white
up Savine's reclamation?
Savine's Reclamation, if I'm Michael, I am looking for interaction straight away.
Oh, he's looking at the batter skull as a speculative pick if there's the 1/2 that gets Stone
Stoneforge
Mystic.
Mystic, yeah, but we are going to go
Okay.
with the miscalculation. I think that's you're a nice pick here in this pack.
Hey, I like that. Although Savine's Recollection. Oh, and we see the.
Oh, God, Golos and Field of the Dead in the same pack.
No, there's
Unbelievable.
the 15-15, and we have the flash. We have the flash.
I don't
Take
think
the 15-15.
Michael's not going to take that. I'm going to be honest with you, Jay Bro. I just don't want you to get so upset. That's just not
I
on
can't
his.
handle it.
It's not on Michael's radar. He's not. He's not playing the Flash. He's going to play. He's going to play really consistent Magic. Okay, he's going to cast things that cost 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go about his day.
Wow.
I would
Wow.
love to see this Rona Herald of Invasion here. That's an excellent looter that could help Michael get to where he needs to be, but he keeps looking at this Underworld. Flame of the West is a really powerful equipment, but how much is Michael really going to be attacking?
Well, it's also one where we don't necessarily have like. Oh, okay. So
We do go the Rona.
I
Okay.
like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Rona,
That's good. That's good for Michael. He
Yes.
does need that.
get to your time.
Oh,
walk
Brazen
quicker.
Bar. This is a
Wow, what a gift.
This is simple pick, and he needs interaction. A great threat. Brazen Borrower ends a surprising amount of games just as a 3/1 flyer, as we know. Longtime cube heads like myself and J-Bro, the Dillion Click as a 3/1 flyer with Flash has ended
good.
a lot of games, and Brazen Borrow is basically the new school way to do that.
So good. And also just a little bit of disruption in this cube, a little bit of tempo play can go a long way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm being told by Chad we didn't actually have the flash. My brain again is just like it's just shortcutting to what I would do, I suppose. Okay.
Well, we might have a Hullbreaker Horror right here as Michael, considering that, but probably trying to think about
Probably
his
not playing
deck
either
total.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Sun Titan and a Hullbreaker Horror.
If we're gonna play one of these, it's okay.
It's going to be the Hullbreaker Horror,
I
J-Bro.
would not that is not what I was gonna say, but all right. I'm all over the place this time. I don't know what's going on. It's all exciting though. This is CubeCon. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
You can pass up making 15-15s turn 2. You can get past non-color mocks. CubeCon!
Well, Michael has decided he wants to play Fair Magic, and he's going to try to make everybody else play Fair Magic. That's been his plan since the beginning of the draft when he
Well-
picked that Parallax Wave for his third pick.
I wouldn't say since the beginning, because the beginning was a Underworld Breach.
Okay, since
So that
since
is-
the third pick. Since the third
From the
pick.
beginning, I thought we were getting something totally different. Ooh, very nice.
All right, so
very
this
nice.
is Michael's opening pack. We have a
Fantastic.
Celestial Colonnade. Michael, wield that Celestial Colonnade.
What a master. Picking the lanes, forcing the colors, making sure everyone knows exactly what's popping. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right. Let's see if we can get some of that pizza because I'm starving. Hold on one second.
All right, so we are now seeing a Ledger Shredder. Ledger Shredder going in. That's going to be one of Michael's most aggressive 2-drops and actually one of his most aggressive cards. Michael is not a deck that is able to double spell too well. That could be one of the problems with Ledger Shredder. Oh my gosh! And then we get the Lorien revealed on the wheel. That's going to easily make Michael's deck excellent
Yes.
mana fixing. Going to be able to pick
Fantastic.
up 3 cards if you cast it for its alternate casting cost of 5 mana.
Also, shuffles for Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's his
Also-
first shuffle.
Yes, and
Congrats, Michael.
And also, in a pinch can draw 3 cards.
Yeah, the alternate casting
Sometimes-
cost of draw 3.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, wow.
Wow.
We have.
Well, you know what? I'll give Michael credit. He scared everybody else out of blue-white.
He knew what he was doing.
nobody else in blue and white cards.
Yes.
That is just Michael.
Fantastic.
He was considering the Weathered Wayfarer. He's going to take it now.
Riddle me this. What do you think was taken over the Mox? Was there another piece
Mox.
of power? Okay. Another Mox. Okay. Another on-color power. Fair enough.
Well, we know that for sure because the player to the right, Andrew Jabs, we know he has Omnath. Michael with a 14th pick Treasure Cruise as well. That's something to write home about. But we know that Andrew Jabs, the player to the right, has Omnath, the 4-color Omnath specifically. So white is something he would need. So I would imagine that we have another piece of power, maybe Black Lotus, maybe Ancestral Recall, maybe a different color Mox that Andrew needed more But what we're going to do right now is we're going to check out the rest of our players. We saw Michael Kilberry draft.
Yes, fantastic.
Michael Kilberry, obviously one of 8 players in the top 8. These players have worked so hard to get here.
And they overcame some great odds. We're talking about Reed Duke, Caleb Durwood.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that up.
Please.
Because the first person we're going to talk about is Allison Battisti.
Yeah, we are.
Yesterday, Allison was in a pod where she beat Caleb and Theo.
Oh, wow. Theo Zhang.
Oh, I'm
amazing
sorry.
player.
That was not yesterday. That was today to make top 8.
Oh, wow. Even more impressive. Performing under pressure.
So Allison beat Caleb and Theo to make top 8. Allison, her favorite cube at CubeCon, Museum of Modern.
Fantastic.
It's been a very popular cube here.
Absolutely.
She won the Museum of Modern Cube and the Cascade Cube. The Cascade Cube is the one she used to make top 8. Big Snapcaster Mage fan. Who could argue with that?
Allison knows what's up.
The card that pulled the most weight for her this weekend was Tamishi, Reality Architect. That's the 2/3 from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. You can pay X and a white to return a land you control to your hand.
Okay.
To return
I don't know this card.
an artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Okay, so that seems insane.
It's a very powerful card. Yeah.
I've never even heard of it, but that seems wonderful.
Allison from Baltimore, Maryland. Her most memorable weekend, we talked about this a little bit. So, in the Baltimore crew,
Yes.
and there's about 15 of them here.
And they're amazing.
And they
led by their champion.
Andy Mangold and Anthony Maddox.
Yes.
And so Allison was telling me that she spent the nights of CubeCon in the hotel playing Super Smash Brothers with all Super Smash Brothers, the most recent one. I'm not a big video gamer. I think it's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
All of them are awesome.
Great.
Whatever it was, they're having fun.
In the hotel room.
Nice.
And Andy Mangold is apparently very good at it.
Yes.
And she said that she beats Andy Mangold in Magic but loses to him in Super Smash Brothers. And I said I would take that.
Yes. If you're going to do one or the other, I'll take the Magic.
Right.
Also, apparently 2 Australian Shepherds.
And she does dog sports with them.
That's awesome.
She does dog sports with them. And so that's things like if you've ever seen the dogs that are running on the platform and you throw like a frisbee and they jump off and get it into the water,
Yes.
like jump super far. That's what she does.
My kids do that with me sometimes.
Right. And I bet the Australian Shepherds jump just a little bit farther than you.
Yes, that seems likely.
Probably so. Who do we have next up in our top 8? Let's find out.
I think we're looking at the Jabber Dabber. Let's go.
Andrew Jabs from J-Bro, you want to pronounce this hometown?
Yeah, that's Sugar Tugger Tybee Bybee, New York.
Great. Socrates, New York. Favorite cube at CubeCon is the Bun Magic Cube.
Can't go wrong with the Bun
Andy
Magic.
Mangold, the lowest curving cube, the most representative cube of everything.
Tappy, one sec, we have an announcement to make. Tappy Toe Clops is making her exit and screaming CubeCon at the top of her lungs, and people are responding. Very good.
So, favorite cube at CubeCon, Bun Magic Cube. Do you know why that is?
Because it's awesome.
Andrew also trophied in it 2 times this week.
2 times?
Including the one to make top 8.
That's statistically unlikely for so many reasons.
It certainly is. But,
Wonderful.
But Andrew Jabs was able to do it. Derek's Cube and the Tempo Cube were the other 2 that he trophied with.
Nice.
During CubeCon. 4 trophies. That's a pretty good amount to hang your hat on.
Wonderful.
His favorite MTGO Vintage Cube card is Containment Priest.
Containment Priest could never contain these beats. Let's begin.
Well, it does do a good job of containing creatures coming back from exile, maybe something that's been blinked, maybe something that's coming back from the graveyard, maybe something's coming about being tinkered in.
Yeah, or Parallax Wave.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Yep.
So that's going to be a good card if he plays Michael Kilberry. But the card that pulled the most weight is one of my favorite Magic cards of all time,
Wasteland.
Wasteland.
Oh, fantastic.
I love it.
Why is that one of your favorite cards?
I don't like my opponent to have fun.
Yes, I love it.
I want to have all the fun.
I'm into it.
Yeah, so it's like I'm stealing fun from them.
Yes, fun is often zero sum in Magic, especially when land destruction's involved.
I want people to have fun, like, overall. I just don't want them to have fun in the context of the moment. Andrew also has 2 cats, Wesley and Buttercup, named after, I would imagine, the Princess Bride. That's right. All right.
True love. He's saying to believe.
Next
To
up,
bluff.
we have our 3rd top 8 competitor, and that's Eric Carr from Bloomington, Minnesota.
Also came to the Capital Tour with us. I'm getting a theme here. Come to the Capital Tour, you're top 8.
Wow.
I would highly recommend going to my Capital Tour. You get a lot of civic engagement and a lot of less enragement because you top 8. Fantastic.
Clearly, Eric's favorite cube on the weekend was the Devoid Cube. That is a
Ooh.
desert-style cube. You have to draft your lands, but that suited him very well. He trophied with the Creatureless Cube, which we covered on yesterday, and the regular cube, which we covered yesterday.
That's awesome.
Now, unfortunately, Eric does not have his favorite MTGO vintage cube card because that's Time Walk. We know who has that. That's Michael Kilberry.
It's a pretty good one, though.
It's a good one.
I'm not mad at that.
Nature's Chant card that pulled the most weight for him over all the cubes this weekend. So Nature's Chant, some of you might not know, it is from Modern Horizons. It is a hybrid white or green and a colorless destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very easily main deckable in a lot of different cubes to deal with pesky artifacts and enchantments.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact, he's a big gearhead. Car enthusiast. Loves it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to George next. Wonderful. A Wisconsin native.
George Lowry the third from Naperville, Illinois. Now, he is repping the Madtown.
He's a Madison. We're claiming him. He's a Wisconsin guy.
All right,
He's a Madison guy.
That's fine. He repped it. So his favorite cube on the weekend was the Cons expanded cube.
Oh, fantastic choice.
Yeah,
what a wonderful cube.
Multiple people have selected that as their favorite. Had a lot of trophies this weekend. Tulsamere cube, that's the green-white cube. Cons expanded cube, and Emma's peasant cube, which we saw play for top 8 on coverage. So he was in the booth right before this. So we know that he beat my pick to win this whole event, Ivan Meyer.
Yes.
I picked him the very beginning of the event, and that's over Reed Duke. That's over Caleb Durward.
And he beat Reed Duke.
And he did,
and almost won the pod Caleb Durward was in.
He did win.
Oh, that was
he won in the second day. He beat the pod with Caleb and Sam. He beat them on the way.
That's right. That's right.
But Ivan went down to George. So George is here and is hopefully has drafted his favorite card, Opposition.
Yes. That is, I think, a pretty cool pick for MTGO Vintage Cube. Everyone goes with the power. Going for Opposition's great. I love this.
Here's a fun fact about George. He's never once drafted a cube on Magic Online, ever.
Wow.
Ever.
That's wild.
Not once.
That's awesome. What a first time to start.
No kidding. No kidding.
Yes, and we've got one of his colleagues, Dan, here checking it out, also watching us live and on his phone. Love it. Love you, Dan. Bless up, homie.
Double up. Maybe card that pulled the most weight, Rofalos, Landwar Emissary. Now, that's a good one in this cube as well, if you're able to get it.
What's the other one? Tolmasar?
So the Tolsmere and the Old Border Foil Cube, he had that in both of those cubes.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it pulled away in multiple cubes.
It did. He leaned on Rofalos to get here.
And we got Ryan Leak coming. Oh, Ryan Leak.
We have Jonathan Leak coming up.
I know who this is. This is Ryan Leak. This is who I beat.
Jonathan Leak.
No, he goes by Ryan. I know who this is. I didn't recognize him because he looks great. He's been losing some weight. He was in your SCG cube. I beat him there, and he also I think he didn't top 8 last year. I played against him on coverage in the end of the Live the Dream cube where I beat him. Thank you very much. He is a very talented player. I'm sorry, Ryan. I did not write. I know who you are now. Yes, I apologize. Yes. Ryan is awesome. His favorite cube?
Derek's cube.
Fantastic.
That's what he said.
That is a good one.
Now, he also doesn't have his favorite card. That's Parallax Wave.
Someone deed it up.
That's Michael was listening to all of these. He's like, I'm gonna just draft all these. Now, he's
got the Time Walk.
The fun fact about Mr. Leak right here. He said he has a terrible memory. I added this last part because he almost didn't show up for top 8, and I almost dropped him in favor of another player. If he did not show up, he had 60 seconds to be physically in front of me before he was dropped for someone out of top 8, which he'd worked so hard on the weekend to get because he trophied 5 times. Cartographia, 2007 Nostalgia, Derek's Cube, Rainbow Synergy Cube, Devoid Cube. He won all of this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And the One Ring it might have in this one. Right? We saw it get passed. We're not sure who has it. We know it got passed,
We know Michael Kilberry does not have it.
Yes.
But
so Ryan,
we got a couple more people. Mm-hmm. Not many, but we're going to see the man himself, Michael Kilberry.
Let's go.
Let's talk about him. We just saw him draft Michael Anthony Kilberry. He wanted us specifically to put that. Sound fancier.
Yes.
Westtown in Chicago, and he wanted specifically to put Chicago, not one of those suburbs that everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Maze Fey Cube, which I got to draft with him this weekend. He won that one, the pod that I was in, and the Tulsamere Cube were his favorite ones. Tulsamere Cube, that's a favorite of a lot of people. The green and white, who'd have thunk it? My least two favorite colors in Magic.
Absolutely. It's it's got to be someone's favorite.
It's a lot of people's favorite. What cubes did Michael trophy with? Well, that's the old Border Foil Cube, Emma's Peasant Cube, Maze Fey Cube, the Tulsamere Cube.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
Oh, has been money drafting since 7th grade.
7th grade.
Wow.
Now I got to be honest. I talked to Michael, and he's also from the Midwest, just like you. And I said, "Let me ask you something, Michael. When you money draft, do you do 3v3 or 2v2?" And he said, "Yeah, 2v2."
Yes.
And I said, "Because you are all psychopaths from North Carolina."
We just had this conversation yesterday.
I know. We 3v3'd in North Carolina. I've been doing it for a long time too, but we 3v3'd. That's the way you do it.
When you're our age and you remember
You're
back
our age.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when back in my day, a little before your time, we did end up in the 3v3 later on. That's the final iteration, but we started with the 2v2, the lost art. I also have been money drafting since about the 7th grade.
Jebro, you tried to make me 4v4.
That's
earlier
also
today.
an iteration. You can pick a champion.
Anyway, our last
I can't confirm or deny if I did that since it would be considered gambling, but I can say I love drafting for stakes theoretically.
Our last Michael is Michael Gilhood, who
Shout out to Riley.
right. Chehalis, Washington, all the way from Washington State. Favorite cube is the Live the Dream cube, which I mean that's a favorite of a lot of ours. One of you and mine's favorite cubes.
And that's the cube I played against Ryan Leak on coverage last year.
Oh, okay.
The one cube I got to play, the one non-exhibition cube I got to play was exactly that one. It's so good.
Well, Michael
Shout out to David McCarthy.
trophied in the regular cube, the Uber Bear Horror Cube, and the Modern Darlings Cube.
Fantastic.
That was one that we covered here on coverage at CubeCon. Favorite MTGO vintage card, Lelia the Blade Reforged. I love that card too. Very, very powerful attacker, especially if you can get it out early in this cube, which is very, very possible.
It's so good.
Leaned on Young Pyromancer for the whole weekend. I mean, that's a card that's incredibly powerful in a lot of different cubes. Very easy to have that one carry you to the win. Fun
Young
fact.
He does a lot of work.
Now, this is, I think Michael has the best fun fact. The first time he cubed was in a submarine 400 feet below the surface of the ocean.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. What was the first time you cubed?
Only 200 feet below.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I'm so impressed by 400 feet below.
That's pretty. Is he military? I would assume, or what's your take on that? How
I
happen?
was already so impressed. I didn't need an explanation.
Fair.
I was just like, okay.
He might be
Right
Aquaman.
on, Michael. Yeah.
He might be Aquaman.
He could be.
Statistically speaking, he's likely he's almost certainly Aquaman at this point.
One of the things that he was most proud of is that he talked to the creator of the Uber Bear Horror Cube, which is Anthony, who hosts the Uber Bear Cube podcast, and he said completely changed Anthony's look at the way he looks at his own cube, which is pretty impressive.
Yes, that's fantastic.
I think we have one more top 8 competitor. I think that's Tim
Oh yes.
Myers.
Okay, let's check out Tim.
So Tim
Ooh,
from St. Louis,
look at him hoist that
Missouri.
cube up.
Yeah,
Impressive.
excited to do so. Also his favorite cube, Con's Expanded Cube.
Yeah, shout out to Elliot. That cube is wonderful.
Yeah.
If you have, it was on Moto briefly.
It was?
If you have not got the chance to draft it, I highly recommend it. Make sure you hit up Elliot online, Elliot Ralph, to bring it back next year. Hopefully we can feature it again. It is amazing.
He trophied in Reading Rainbow, Maze Fey Cube, and the data-generated Vintage Cube, which got him to this top 8 right now.
So he vintage cubed to get to the vintage cube.
He did.
I like it.
Now, his favorite card is Mana Crypt. If he was sitting to the left of Michael, he might have it in his deck.
Yes,
It's very
getting past a
possible.
mana crypt is like one of the happiest things you can ever do. Like it's just such a gift. I would also probably say it's my favorite. I don't think I would pass anything for mana crypt.
What about Thraben Inspector? I'm putting you on the spot.
How dare you? I'll take them both. I'll wheel one of them. I'm not sure which.
Well, the card that pulled the weight the most, and no wonder Tim's in top 8. He drafted Fable the Mirror Breaker multiple times.
Now, do you think that's mana crypt into Fable turn 1? How do you
I think if it's in the Vintage Cube, it very likely is. It's
Yeah.
very, very possible. Fun fact, he won a side event here at CubeCon and won a commissioned altar from a Magic artist
Oh wow!
of his choice.
Do we know what it? Oh, it's to be determined.
To be determined.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Was that the WizKids one?
It was one of our competitors that was just running an event.
Oh, that's awesome. See, that's the type of joy you get at CubeCon. All this organic, amazing opportunities. That's wonderful.
Pretty amazing. I mean, really just, and all of these competitors have worked so hard. You see that no one just got here on accident.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone has earned their spots. There's so many highly competitive players. And we're going to see these 8 duke it out, but we're going to take just a short break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to crown a brand new CubeCon champion because Caleb Durward, he tried, didn't quite make it a top 8. So we're going to have a new person hoist that trophy. Do not go anywhere.
Are you saying you're counting Caleb out?
I think at this point, statistically, we can. Do not go anywhere.
I never count Caleb out.
For Jay Bro and Justin Parnell, we will be back in just a few minutes to finish this CubeCon top 8.